Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the competition timeout. We are going to do the NFC East. Try to do it all today. First episode this morning will be the New York Football Giants. All right, so the New York Football Giants went 6-11 last year. Daniel Jones was hurt. Had a bunch of quarterbacks that were rotating in: DeVito, Taylor, all that. Anyway, the New York Football Giants, like I said, they went 6-11 with all those injuries. Come to the all season and they lose. The biggest loss was Saquon. He was absolutely their biggest weapon for the last few years in this offense, and now he has left. He has gone to the Philadelphia Eagles. Um, that was ultimately their biggest loss. Everything else was more of you know, depth guys that they got. As far as signings, um, they tried to help the line out. They signed Jermaine Manor, tackle. He was playing for the Raiders before. They signed also John Runyon Jr., Austin Schlottman, and Steiny. So they did sign a lot of bodies for up front. They signed Devin Singletary, running back, somewhat a replacement for Saquon. Signed Drew Lock to back up. Um, to back up. Sorry, they signed Drew Lock to back up Daniel Jones, and that was about it. Their biggest acquisition was in a trade. They did trade for Brian Burns, the pass rusher from Carolina. Um, second and a fifth. Um, two fifths actually. Second and two fifths. So yeah, yeah, that was their all season. Also, Darren Waller retired. That's the other thing. In the draft, they got a receiver, Malik Neighbors from LSU. We'll see if they can get the ball to him. Um, as far as it goes, coaching, there was some changes. They did fire a Wing Martindale, and they brought in Shane Bowen, who was a defensive coordinator in Tennessee for the last couple of years. They brought him in to replace um, Wing Martindale. Right. Everything else stayed the same uh, within their coaching staff. All right, like I said, let's go down and break down the roster. Like I said, Daniel Jones is supposed to be back. We'll see how he comes back from injury. We'll see how mobile he is. We'll see what they're able to do. Devin Singletary in the backfield. He's the primary back. Um, big shoes to fill there when the offense used to revolve all around Saquon. Receiver, they have the usual suspects. There's Slayton, Wandell Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, and newcomer Malik Neighbors. I said, see if they can get him the ball. Tight end, they have Daniel Bellinger, who they really like. They did draft Theo Johnson as well. On the line might actually be okay finally. Maybe. We'll see. You have Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas at the tackles. They're vets by now. You have Ron, jo- Ron John Runyon Jr., who they signed to play guard. He can also play center, but he'll be playing guard. Um, they have Aaron Stinney, too, to play guard. Greg Van Rotten to play guard. So might be a little shaky at first, but this line might finally be okay at some point. Defensive defensively, still running a 3-4. Dexter Lawrence right there in nose tackle. He's a beast. Um, Next to him, it's kind of open. They got Raheem Nunez Roches, uh, Jordan Riley, and rookie Elijah Chapman. So we'll see who steps up from there. Um, Obviously, a pass rush. They did get Brian Burns on the other side. They'll have Kayvon Thibodeau. That's going to be really good. In the middle, they have Bobby Okereke and uh, and they have as well. What's his name? Sorry, they moved him to safety. Anyway, Micah McFadden has been in the league for a little bit. Rick Hofflin. So they got some bodies inside. Chris Bolton. On the outside, Brian Burns, Thibodeau. Backing them up is Azeez Ojulari on one side, Carlos Basham on the other. So there's some depth there for them. Um, yeah, there's some depth there for them. Uh, at linebacker. And then in the backfield, obviously, they did lose Xavier McKinney. They re-signed somebody who they had before, Dory Jackson. They're taking a chance on him. Deontay Banks going into his second year. Uh, just they moved Isaiah Simmons back to safety with their glaring needs there, and they drafted some guys, Andrew Phillips, Tyler Newman, to step in and help out this secondary. Honestly, on this team, I like the defense more. I just think the line and the linebackers are really solid, so they'll be able to get a pass rush um, going, and that'll help this young secondary that really doesn't have many people who stand out. Deontay Banks will have to take a big step forward in his second year. I say Simmons is really good, but he's back at safety. He's been used all over the place in the two teams he's been, Carolina and New York. But I still like the defense a little better than the offense. The offensive line, I think, will be better, barring injuries, than they have been recently. I just don't know if I trust Daniel Jones. Um, they're going to rely on him, finally see if he's worth the money they gave him. Malik Neighbors, I think, will have an impact, but I don't know that it will be a thing. Do I think they're going to be a little better? Yes, just slightly a little better than last year. They went 6-11, so that might be 7-10, 8-9. So that's where I think they sit at the moment, the New York Giants. If we go down the schedule, like I've done with all the other teams, um, at the Vikings, that's going to be a tough one because I think the team's kind of fairly even, both teams. At the Commanders, same thing. I think the teams are going to be fairly even. We'll talk about Commanders next episode. Cleveland Browns. I think the Cleveland wins that. Cowboys. Might be able to give the Cowboys a game. That's what they do. That rivalry, though. Kind of give each other a game. But I think as of right now, I think the Cowboys will win. And they might win both. But hey, at Seattle, I think Seattle wins. Cincinnati wins. Philly, they've had a hard time against Philly last several years. I don't know if they win this. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wins this. Commanders again. Up in the air. We'll see. Carolina up in the air as well. There's some teams that are kind of like the same. So to see if they get those four and six going into the bye. If they get those four up in the air games, Tampa, I think Tampa wins. Cowboys, Cowboys win, but they could split. Who knows? New Orleans Saints, I think the Giants can win that. Ravens a loss. Yeah, another 6-10 season. Honestly, I don't know, 7-10 actually, or maybe a 9. I don't know. There's going to be some games like I've said mentioned with a lot of the teams that we've gone over. and taking a look at it is that there's some of these games that on paper you can kind of say it's going to be a loss at the or it might be up in the air like I say, and that team has to flip it, and you never know. Like I said, it is you can't predict that really any given Sunday, and there's going to be some games that some of these teams are going to flip that look like a loss right here, or might be like evenly matched, and that's how they'll get their extra wins than they did the year before to improve. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But the Giants are interesting. I don't know that they're going to make this crazy leap forward, but they'll be a little slightly better than last year, I believe, but not enough to make a run or anything. But yeah, that was the New York Football Giants. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next episode. Peace out.